Hello and welcome to Retrospection. In this episode, we're traversing time and space with the infamous 1996 Doctor Who, the movie. My name's Colin, and I always dress for the occasion.
And my name's Paul, and I'm not Bruce. I'm merely inside his body.
Best place to be?
That's not the response I was expecting from you, Colin.
Was
You toned it down for our guest,
I'm on my best behaviour.
I can tell it.
And I'm sober. It's the middle of the afternoon here.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I am actually.
I'm Andy, and I always dress for the occasion.
I'm Yvonne, and these shoes fit perfectly.
So you obviously you may have noticed that we've got 2 extra people in the retrospection house today. Because we live together, Colin, don't we?
It's a house now. What are we, like the Beatles or the Monkeys?
No, the Beatles, obviously. So with us today, we've got... Would you describe yourselves as Doctor Who superfans?
I'd say we're quite keen Doctor Who fans. I can't remember a time in my life when Doctor Who wasn't some part of my life. I think possibly my earliest memory might be of a rubber dinosaur from the John Pertwee episode Invasion of the Dinosaurs. I think that might be my first ever memory. So it sort of imprinted hard with me from a very early age.
To say Doctor Who superfan, I would say someone who owns several sonic screwdrivers, a scarf, and has been to more conventions. I don't remember a time before Doctor Who. I have an older brother and watched Doctor Who as I was out, went outside playing, but I'd come inside and see bits. I've got vague memories of some of the Sylvester McCoy episodes, but I didn't probably watch it. So when the TV movie came out, that was it. That was the first time I saw a proper Doctor Who episode going out for the first time, and I was 16. It's quite exciting.
And I just realised I didn't say your names, did I? So, Yvonne, Andy. It's like I was introducing you two of you.
This one you did.
Well, I'll check it when I'm editing.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's nice to have people on the podcast who can correct our, and I'm using giant inverted commas here, facts.
So I would say that I'm also not a Doctor Who super fan. I like the show. I grew up watching the show. I would probably say my Doctor was probably from Peter Davison onwards. I have the most memory of Sylvester McCoy. For good or bad, who knows?
Yeah. Bit of both, really. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my go-to science fiction would be Star Trek, and I think Colin, you probably would say the same, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah. I know. I'm also. I guess I remember Sylvester McCoy would have been my period. Maybe Peter Davison, because I always remember when Tom Baker regenerated into him. That's imprinted on my brain, so I must have watched that.
All right. Yeah.
Well, we are the same age, Colin.
No, that's not right. You're in your 40s. I'm in my 20s. What are you talking about? I've told you this time and time again.
I'm sure I remember you at school, Colin.
I've regenerated, but kept the same face. Which
is that what you've done?
It's either good or bad. I'm not sure which.
You're like David Tennant.
I think.
Yes.
I think I might be a little older than you two guys, and I sort of grew up with Tom Baker. Really, sort of. I suppose in a way I was quite lucky. I got what's maybe looked back on as the golden era of the classic era of Who. And like yourselves, my first regeneration that I remember was into Peter Davison, and that sort of came as not quite a wrench, but that was like sort of Tom Baker's been Doctor Who all my life, and then I had to sort of go through this process of him turning into somebody else. And if I hadn't liked Peter Davison, I may well have, sort of not followed the show on, but I did, and give or take a few kind of exceptions, I've generally sort of liked who they cast as the Doctor. And I've sort of followed it ever since, really. But yeah, those Tom Baker years imprinted hard.
When you said you grew up with Tom Baker, it sounded like you lived with him.
Well, For a year or two, I did, but we keep that quiet.
But he was around for a long time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's from Liverpool, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a local lad. He's only from down the road. Originally born in Liverpool, but he lost the accent
Oh, right. Didn't know.
quite early on.
Probably kicked out of him by acting school.
I dare say, yeah.
It's interesting when you say that if you hadn't connected with the next actor that came along, you might have drifted away from it, because I think that's always the risk when they bring a new actor into Doctor Who, isn't it? That you don't know what you're going to get.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd say it's most of the time. I think they've got it quite right. I won't sort of sit here and kind of point fingers on names that people who are sort of maybe lower down the list. But as I said, I think Tom Baker, I think it's a part that really the character and the actor, there's often not an awful lot of delineation sort of between them. I think Tom Baker is one of the most Doctor Who-ish of the actual actors. If you look up Great British Eccentric in the dictionary, I think there's a picture of Tom Baker there.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether all the stories about him are true or not, I don't know, but he's one of those people that never lets the truth get in the way of a good story and a good yarn. And I think this mythos has sort of built up about him.
Yeah, he's definitely a character on screen and off, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's not shy of sort of gilding the lily with a yarn, shall we say?
Very true.
Yeah. So TMDB says the 7th Doctor becomes the 8th, and on the streets of San Francisco, alongside new ally Grace Holloway, he battles the Master.
Accurate.
Fairly straightforward. Yes, not bad, right? We've had worse.
We have.
Yeah. This episode stars Paul McGann as the Doctor, Eric Roberts as Bruce and the Master, Daphne Ashbrook as Dr. Grace Holloway, Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor, Yi Ji So as Chang Lee, Will Sasso as Pete, and Dolores Drake as Curtis.
Christopher Eccleston and Peter Capaldi actually declined to audition for this, which is quite ironic, really, isn't it?
I didn't know about Christopher Eccleston, but I think I'd heard about Capaldi not wanting to sort of mess it up, I think.
I think he felt that he was too young at the time.
Maybe, perhaps, or maybe it was, at the time he maybe felt maybe a bit too close to the material. Maybe it was sort of closer to his fan base, or maybe he was even just trying to distance himself from Doctor Who a bit. At the time when he finally did take the part up, it was perhaps a much more prestigious role, but at that time maybe saw it as a bit of a poison chalice. I don't know.
Didn't kind of all the eligible male actors audition for Doctor Who?
Maybe.
So I think one of the McGann brothers, as well as Paul McGann, auditioned. I'm sure Tony Slattery did as well.
Yeah, it's like James Bond. It's easier to list the actors who've never auditioned for the role.
Yeah. True.
Well, some of my notes that I won't read out later then. All right.
We know our stuff. We're getting in there.
So for people who know less stuff about Doctor Who, we should point out that it had been cancelled after its 26th series in 1989. And 7 years later, we were greeted with this UK-USA joint revival made by Universal Television with BBC Worldwide and BBC Drama and shown in the US on Fox Television.
Yeah, the BBC wanted Tom Baker to be the Doctor at the beginning, believe it or not. Which would have been weird in continuity, really, wouldn't it? But
because this plays so well with the continuity of Doctor Who lore, doesn't it?
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll talk about that, won't we?
I don't know if it's a sign, but my Paul McGann figure's just fallen over as I've said that.
Oh.
He's just face-bombed onto the desk.
He's done. He's out. I guess that Tom Baker was probably, with him being the most well-known Doctor, even to the Americans that had seen the show, that's probably why they wanted it.
Yeah.
But I'll give producer Philip David Siegel his due. He was a big Who fan, and he insisted that it had to be Sylvester McCoy.
So no, I was going to say, I think that's one of the nice things about it. That I think McCoy had always said, even if it was just a cough and a spit part, he would come back for the regeneration. Maybe that was after sort of Colin Bacon not coming back for Sylvester's sort of first episode.
Right.
That's a whole other story. But I think maybe he sort of felt that it was his duty to carry on the torch.
Yeah, it's good that they brought Sylvester McCoy back for it though, because I think he gets a bit of a bum rap. As far as I'm concerned, I think he was. I mean, he's not the greatest actor in the world, but he did okay.
Right.
What does everyone else think about that? About Sylvester McCoy?
I don't mind him. Like, I'm okay with Sylvester McCoy. It's always been the writing that's let down the actor playing the Doctor.
Agreed.
It's never really the actor themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I even like Colin Baker. In fact, I think I'm rewatching the Colin Baker period now because they just released them on Blu-ray, and I'm quite enjoying them.
Yeah, I like Colin Baker. Not so keen on the suit, but you kind of get over it, don't you?
Well, that's because
he's had a resurgence through the.
Yeah, they just went crazier and crazier. More colour, more vegetables.
He had a resurgence. He had a resurgence through the Big Finish audios where you can't see what he's wearing. So yeah,
there you go. Yeah,
fans have gone to.
Yeah, I remember meeting Colin Baker at Reading Comic Con a few years ago, and he was standing in a line to buy a hot dog. He did only buy the one, actually. I was quite surprised.
Colin Baker was between you and a hot
dog. He was. We had to fight for it.
I'm amazed he got out there alive.
He started already. Look, he's already...
What?
What are we in 10, 15 minutes in? He's already insulted me. I remember watching this when it aired. I think I was in Blackpool at the time. And apparently it ended with a dedication to John Pertwee because he recently passed.
Yeah, he had. Yeah.
I read that too. Yeah. I should say when they did air it in America, they screened it opposite an episode of Roseanne in which her husband suffers a heart attack. You know, only the biggest show at the time.
Yeah. It's almost history repeating itself because famously the BBC schedulers put the Sylvester McCoy era up against Coronation Street. One of our most popular and beloved soap operas, which got at the time and still does gets huge ratings.
Do you think? I always got the impression towards the end of it that the BBC wanted it to die.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was. It was put out to pasture really, and it was a pity because like you say about Sylvester McCoy, I think that his first season it was a bit silly and a bit pantomime. But as his second and third seasons went on, the story's got a lot more complex, a lot darker.
They deliberately scripted it to give a bit of mystery to it. And
yeah,
who is the Doctor?
There was that sense of, is the Doctor more than a Time Lord? Is there something going on here? And it was sort of quite nice that that was sort of hinted at, but you never really found out what was going on with it. And sadly, as it was just sort of finding its feet and maybe getting a bit of momentum again, it got cancelled.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't bad timing a tradition of Doctor Who? Didn't the first episode screen on the day that JFK was assassinated?
It was the day after.
Okay.
Yeah, Kennedy had been assassinated on the Friday, and I think because the first episode was aired under such unusual circumstances, the world was still, reeling from what had happened the day before. I believe the first episode was repeated the week after, I think.
Yeah. Although this and a couple of special appearances in Modern Who, the extent of Paul McGann's actual screen time as the Doctor. He's been playing Doctor Who in Big Finish audio productions for what, how many years now? Quite a few.
Must be at least 20.
Wow.
I'm guessing. I've not listened to a huge number of them. Myself, you've listened to
I was saying earlier, did that McGann TV movie spawn as much Doctor Who media as the original series? Because you've got all the Big Finish audios. There's the range of books, the comics. Because I remember following the Big Finish audios for a while. I've got a full set of the books upstairs that carried on the story from the TV movies. So despite there not being any new on screen, the story did continue for a good while. And
that's probably what kept it alive, isn't it? Until it came back again.
Yeah, and there was a whole series of comic books as well, wasn't there? Graphic novels. And...
Yeah, the Wilderness Years was mostly McGann.
Yeah.
Colin won't be surprised if I say that I've read those comic books.
No, I won't be. It's still strange to me the way the BBC treats Doctor Who. considering how much money it's made them.
Mm.
And for a good long period, they didn't have to do anything to make that money.
Yeah.
No.
So it's just an odd... It's like they hate it, but they need it.
And it does have such a devoted fan base.
Internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, now it's going to be turning up on Disney Plus, isn't it? Around the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see how that develops.
Mm-hmm.
The ratings, while they were poor in the USA, it did very well in the UK. It was a top position in the drama viewing figures for that week.
Yeah, it was 9.1 million, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is actually the same as what it got in the US, 9 million. So, you know.
Yeah. It's all relative, isn't it?
That's pretty healthy viewing figures, isn't it? For a show that had been off air for 7 years at the time.
Yeah.
I think the fans were gagging for it, really, weren't they?
Yeah, but there's a whole sort of generation that missed out on those years, the sort of the wilderness years, as they're now. No.
It's funny, isn't it? They call a lot of like Star Wars. You've got legacy characters and all of that business, and it's still that period of Doctor Who when there was no Doctor Who and it was just comics and books is still called the Wilderness Years.
yeah. I think that's the official title now, isn't it?
There is the terrible joke of how many Doctor Who fans that take to screen a light bulb. It's like none. They just sit in the dark waiting for it to come back on.
So another rival company, this was interesting, another rival company had the rights to make a theatrical version of Doctor Who. And because the rights were on the verge of expiring, they attempted to get Leonard Nimoy, to film a short sequence as the Doctor, just so that they could extend the rights even further. But
I would watch that.
But
that vaguely rings a bell.
But Philip David Siegel, he found out and he contacted Nimoy, and when he told him what they were up to, he backed out of it.
Oh, okay.
It's like Nimoy, no, my show.
Would you have coped with Leonard Nimoy as the Doctor, or is it one of those parts that has to be a British person?
No, I don't think it has to be. I think as long as you give it to a good actor.
But you don't want an actor that's famous for a certain role in science fiction for another franchise, because that brings a lot of baggage with it.
It does. But I think if you're a good enough actor, people can get around that.
You've got Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones.
Yeah. It can be done. I think the basic rule should be: are they a good actor? Can they work well with the scripts? It would have been I think it would have been confusing for particularly American audiences to see Leonard Nimoy as his character. But in a way, I'm kind of curious as to what he might have done with it.
As long as he doesn't sing.
Would we have seen Leonard Nimoy with a big grey wig and a cravat? I don't know. Who doesn't want to see that? Leonard Nimoy in a cravat.
How you've described it.
Yeah. You know it. You know, Colin, which actor from Star Trek I'd be interested to see play the Doctor there, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Michelle Nichols.
No.
It's
Shatner. It's always Shatner.
It's always Shatner.
No.
I'm the Doctor.
I am the Doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Would Leonard Nimoy have been better as maybe the Master?
Oh, yeah.
In this, would he have been better as a villain?
Yeah, he could get his little bad Spock tash on.
Yeah. He could have had his alternate universe goatee beard and just stroke his little goatee beard.
Yeah, I can see that definitely. Steven Spielberg's Amblin, they were originally attached to the project as well, but when an early draft featured Nazis and an ancient artifact, he pulled out because he felt it was a little bit too Indiana Jonesy. But the funny thing was that the BBC, it hinged on Amblin being involved. So the US producers didn't tell the BBC that Spielberg had bailed on it until after they'd already started filming and production had started, in case they backed out.
Oh, right.
Wait, so there's film of this?
Of what?
Somewhere. Oh, they actually started filming?
No. They
Not the Nazi version.
No. This version they started filming, but they didn't
okay.
tell the BBC that Amblin had backed out of it because they thought maybe the BBC would pull the plug.
Oh, I think they might have done.
Yeah. Do you remember when this was first on the BBC that it was heavily edited, wasn't it? Because it was on pre 9 p.m. and there's certain parts of this that I don't think I saw until years later, because the first initial VHS release of this was the same version that the BBC put out.
So the shooting was toned down.
Shooting was toned down, yeah. And I think when he screams, when Sylvester McCoy screams when he dies, that was cut as well.
Cut out his best moment.
It is quite a jolt seeing those opening scenes with the gunfire. It's very different from anything we'd seen in Doctor Who before. It does strike as you as sort of very
American,
sort of quote unquote American. Yeah. It's very sort
even
of,
the filming technique and the way it looks is different.
Yeah. But I'm sure we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. So we open with a narration. The Master has been placed on trial on the planet Skaro. He demands that his remains be taken back to the home planet Gallifrey by the Doctor.
And we get to hear Daleks. Well, slightly off-sounding Daleks. It's kind of like how when Jim Henson died, that Kermit never sounded the same again, isn't it?
But they weren't referenced as Daleks, were they? Oh, was Daleks mentioned?
They don't mention.
He does. He mentions the Daleks later.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
But they didn't appear. Yeah, they just hear them, but you don't.
Yeah. You basically get this massive info dump at the start, don't you? There's a lot to take in. It mentions Gallifrey, it mentions Daleks, it mentions the Master. I think it mentions the fact that he's a Time Lord, it mentions Skaro.
That was one of the complaints at the time, that there was too many references to Doctor Who that passed. I was like, oh, good Lord, what would they think about modern Who? It's all it ever does.
It's interesting, actually, because that most recent episode where they had a lot of the old Doctors in it, I know people that means nothing to. People that didn't know who any one of those people were.
But if you compare this to when Russell T Davies brought it back with Rose, he stripped it back completely.
It was just, you didn't know who he was. He said, I'm a traveller, and I've got a spaceship, and I'm alien. And that's it. Even the time travel elements was only at the end of the episode. He comes back for it at the end, and she goes, oh, did I mention it also travels in time? So even that, I thought it was such a contrast to the TV movie. And I think maybe learnt from the mistakes of the TV movie. It's just keep it very simple. Introduce this character a bit like they did with the original episode of Doctor Who back in 1963 on An Unearthly Child. Nobody really knew who he was or where he was from. It was just, he's this alien. He's got a time traveling police box. That's all you need to know. That's enough of a gimmick there, and it's bigger on the inside.
Right.
Don't sort of complicate it any more than that. And then once you've got people hooked in, then start layering in little references to Time Lords and Time Wars and Daleks and things like that. And it makes it much more sort of not quite believable, but it's less of a jolt.
I wonder how far they were planning on taking it if it had gone to series, because I read in that book Regenerations, there's design concepts in there for the Daleks. And they're more like that's the one, yeah, I was looking at that earlier. They've got redesigned Daleks in there, haven't they, with sort of insectoid bodies and weird metallic legs that they use to walk around with. I mean, that would have really pissed off the Doctor Who fans, wouldn't it, if you did that?
So they did a lot of prep for material that they would plan to use.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you can't do Doctor Who without the Daleks, but whether those designs would have been sort of Dalek-y enough to keep the Who fans on board, I don't know. Again, it depends on how well it's done. If it's a good story and the meant to look scary, then why not, in a way? But again, it's interesting to sort of compare it with when the Doctor Who sort of came back properly in 2005. Essentially, they kept the Daleks very, very similar. They sort of, I think the phrase was the mini Cupid them. They sort of took like they did with the original mini design. They kind of beefed it up a little bit, but kept a lot of the same aesthetics there. And again, these new Daleks are basically sort of original Daleks on steroids with a few more rivets and bolts, and
they don't wobble
up a
anymore
bit.
either.
What do we think of the opening theme for this one?
I love it. You hate it because they play around with it. It's not. They move the middle eight, as it's called. That's.
I think the actual the theme music and the I like the title sequence, but the actual theme music to me sounds like one of those horrible TV cover albums that you get that's always got the music played by the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra or something like that.
I like those.
And I
do. Yeah. On vinyl, Andy. On vinyl.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the one.
I'm the one. Yeah. What did you think of it, Colin?
I like it. I'm on Team Yvonne. I like it. I think I like its epic nature. It feels like a film.
Yeah. I like it as well. I like it as well. Not for those reasons. Not because it sounds like it's done by Jeff Love's orchestra or anything like that. But you know.
Oh, don't get me started on Jeff Love. It's the at the end on the theme music. I'm sorry. Oh, that makes me cringe. I'm sorry.
It's the best bit.
You know, they almost didn't get to use it. Apparently, they couldn't get the rights to the Ron Granier music, and they only got it at the 11th hour.
Oh.
They were going to come up with something completely different.
Wow.
That would have been interesting.
I wonder what they would have done.
It would have sounded like it, but not been it. I think they'd have done something that invoked it without actually copying it.
That's like watching one of the Sweeney movies and going, "What's the Sweeney theme tune?"
Yeah.
Because they don't have it in films.
Well, I suppose in fairness, the Peter Cushing movies didn't have it, did they?
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a kid watching that on television for the first time and going,
yeah.
What? Where's the?
We love those movies, Colin, don't we? But I do remember as a kid that first time I saw those, it was a bit jarring. Because you kind of like that. This is Doctor Who. Doesn't look like Doctor Who. Where's the TARDIS interior? It's not the same. He's got a big lever that he pulls. What's going on there?
Yeah, that's because they're Dalek movies. They're not Doctor Who movies.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, didn't they? They only had rights to certain things and Terry Nation stuff. They had as well, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why it's called the Professor, right?
Mm.
So the opening credits, they're pretty simple, but we like them, right? They're okay. They do the job.
Yeah. That logo was the logo for a long time on everything, wasn't it, after this?
That was the old John Pertwee logo. That they sort of revamped it for this. In much the same way that the new logo for the sort of what we'll probably end up calling the Disney Plus era is effectively the old Tom Baker logo. The diamond logo, which I suppose they cleverly brought back for the 60th anniversary, with that being the diamond anniversary. I think that was the thinking behind it.
I never thought of that.
But everything in Doctor Who gets recycled.
It seems to, doesn't it?
Regenerated. We also learn in this opening about the idea of 13 lives. How does this fit into the Doctor Who storylines?
That had already been established.
It had, okay.
Back, I think the Deadly Assassin, I think, sort of established this, and people latched on to that. Doctor Who kind of canon and lore has always been played fast and loose with by the writers, and continues to be up to the modern era.
I was going to say it's not 13 lives anymore. It's probably about 1,300 lives, isn't it? That he's had now.
It's whatever you want it to be these days. Yeah. So yeah, but at that stage, it was believed that the Master was coming towards the end of his allocated slot of. Although I think even that, I'm sure in this is where I get really really nerdy. In the Five Doctors, he was offered another regeneration cycle by the Time Lords. So there's obviously this ability to sort of
keep it going.
Somehow sort of offer people a new set.
Why wouldn't every Time Lord take that offer?
Well, I don't think every Time Lord's offered that offer. I think but,
he's special.
Yeah, they use it as a bribe for him.
Ah, right.
Wow. All right. And we get to see the interior of the TARDIS. What do we think of this version?
Gorgeous. Yeah, it looks stunning. You can see all the money on. Well, you could see most of it. I think you could actually, when they filmed it, you couldn't actually see all of it. When you see all the diagrams and the plans of the actual TARDIS, it's huge. And I think you only see little bits on screen.
It is an amazing set. I love lots of it.
But there's a big but coming here.
Personal issue. It's a little bit. It's a little bit too Jules Verne, a little bit too steampunky. It's sort of. I think they were trying to pander to sort of what Americans thought a British time machine would look like, rather than it looking like an alien time machine. I think it was this idea of the Great British Eccentric, rather than an alien eccentric.
Yeah, I see what you mean. There's a lot of time, clocks, time travel references.
It's very literal.
Yeah,
it's very on the nose with the clocks, isn't it? Yeah.
And considering how often the TARDIS gets rocked about, I am not sure that loads of candles and rugs are a good idea.
So health and safety would have a nightmare with that TARDIS.
Yeah, I guess they don't exist in Gallifrey.
Well, later we see like burning fires in the cloister room, don't we? I mean, what's going on there? That's
and bats as well.
Bats, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why the bats?
It did cost $1 million this set, $1 million.
Yeah,
to make.
Yeah, it's a very handsome set, and it's quite nice to see lavish production values put onto Doctor. And I love the back in the 1970s there was the badly CSO'd screen viewer that sort of like that as you saw what the alien landscape was, and with this one you get the whole ceiling that opens up and shows you the entire galaxy projected onto the screen. I thought that was a lovely touch. I thought that was gorgeous.
Nice. Yeah, it's very cinematic as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I did send Paul a screenshot of something I noticed, in that when Grace Holloway and the Doctor run into the TARDIS, there is a shot from down and it's an upward shot, and you can see a window in the top right-hand corner that does not look like part of the set. It looks like a window of a warehouse.
All right.
I was like, wonder if that was supposed to be there.
Yeah, a warehouse in Canada, you said, didn't you?
Yeah, that's where it was shot. Yeah.
I suppose the outside of the TARDIS was always meant to adapt to its environment. Maybe the inside started to adapt as well.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And I also don't like that he's reading H.G. Wells' Time Machine. Again, this is another example of it being, like you said, on the nose of everything.
Yeah.
And I think even the song, does the song stick on the word time? I think.
Yeah.
When the needle glitches.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I get it. It's a time machine.
Yeah.
So Time Lords turn to goo when they die. Is that right?
Well, apparently in this episode, for the convenience of getting him squeezed through the keyhole, yeah.
All right.
What did you think of the effect, Paul? Because I know you have problems with water and liquid effects in films.
You know what? I didn't. I have got prior on this. I actually didn't think for what it was. I thought it was okay.
Really?
Yeah, I did actually. I didn't mind it. Seriously. You're looking at me.
A little bit of bias coming in here, but okay.
Me bias? Never. So, go on. You carry on. No, you go on. Go on.
No, after you, sir.
So
look how polite we are.
So the master he escapes, doesn't he, and causes the TARDIS to crash land. And we get that gunfight. And were those goons just as a little aside? Were those goons just hiding behind the bins on the off chance that those other guys were going to turn up?
Yeah, they've been there all day waiting. I mean, in fairness, those bins are bulletproof, so,
it's true.
And those boxes. And that car appears to be bulletproof too.
It does seem to be, yeah. Nobody
sparks a lot.
Nobody was damaging that car that they'd rented for that day, were they? No.
No. It's got to go back at 5.
I did like that the TARDIS landed in front of a huge poster of Buckingham Palace. Did you see that?
Yeah, isn't it a Visit London sign poster? Yeah.
Nice little touch.
Yeah.
I do actually love that scene where the TARDIS land, because up till then you've always seen the TARDIS just sort of fade in and fade out of a quarry in the middle of Wales somewhere. I like all the sort of the ambient effects of the not quite lightning on it, but there's the lighting with it, and the newspapers swirling around, and everybody's sort of looking up at the sky as it comes down. And I love the music in that particular sequence as well. It's quite a stirring landing of the TARDIS.
That effect of the wind around the TARDIS when it lands is something that they carried on today as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that until we mentioned it. But yeah.
It's probably one of the first times we've seen the TARDIS appear where things can move around it, where everything doesn't have to freeze.
Yeah.
That's true. There's a nice little John Smith reference as well, when the kid's filling out the medical form in the ambulance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was his alias for a long time, wasn't it? Still is now.
That was the long-standing alias of the Doctor.
Yeah,
I think particularly during the Pertwee era, but I think it's been used quite a lot sort of since.
Although and the kid, when he's doing the farm, he goes 1999 really loud, and you're like, yeah, I know there was a caption. I'm wondering if they were not going to do a caption, and that's why they did that.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Because then throughout the entire episode, people keep going like 1999.
Little wink.
Like, oh yeah, I get what year it is.
But did we not all do that in 1999?
I guess we did.
I was drunk, Andy. I don't remember.
Between 1999 and 2010.
So we get to meet Grace, played by Daphne Ashbrook. So you've all seen that Doctor Who Am I film, haven't you? The documentary.
Yeah.
Yes. Just the other week.
Yeah.
I like her character a lot, but just as a person, the actress herself, she seems like great fun at conventions, doesn't she?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've never seen her at a convention, have we? But
I don't think so. I've seen a DVD they did of her and Paul McGann at a convention.
yeah, they seem like they form like a really good double act these days.
Definitely.
And it's kind of a shame that we didn't get that chemistry on screen for a couple of seasons with them together.
She did come back and do a Big Finish audio, but not as Grace. They weren't allowed to do that.
Right.
But she came back as another character with McGann.
Do we all like Grace then as a character?
I think she's very good.
Yeah, she gets one of the best intros.
Mm-hmm.
At the opera, and then sweeping through the hospital in the gown and the holding the shoes.
That's
an
running
intro.
down the corridor in slow motion. That's very dramatic. And
I kind of want my doctor to actually listen to my chest first before cutting me open and wondering why I've got two hearts,
Got to keep the energy up, Colin. You got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
And they kept going like, it's a double exposure X-ray. Oh yeah, if it's a double exposure, why is the heart on the other side? The heart would still be in the same place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You're not supposed to think about it. You're thinking about it too much, Colin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll stop that.
I agree that I think it would have been interesting to see how she would have developed in a series with the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because there's great chemistry there.
I wish... but I wish they hadn't done the relationship thing.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that when we get to the... when we get to the moment.
Yeah. So she has to leave the opera, right? Because she gets a call because they're taking the Doctor into the hospital and it's going to be a heart operation, which is her speciality. And then while she's getting all the scrubs on and stuff, her boyfriend calls her to moan about her leaving for this emergency operation.
Brian.
I mean...
He's just there to make it obvious why later in the series she's going to decide to go with the Doctor, isn't she? Because she's not got really any body attachments here, I suppose.
Right.
Because he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Does he actually get any lines?
No.
He just sits there and...
He just huffs when she leaves the theatre.
Yeah.
He's huffing because he didn't want to be at the opera anyway. He's only gone because she dragged him there.
I want to see the audition process where they lined up several actors and said, give us your best huff.
I could have done that.
Yeah. Go on, give us your best. Go on then.
All right, ready? I'm going to do it.
Very good.
It was a bit...
All right, I'll do it. All right, okay, I could do another one.
A bit less.
Yeah. Yep.
Better?
I like how you put the squeak on the end of it.
Yeah, it was good. He does that himself. You don't see his lips move. That's the huff you do when anybody asks you to do something, right?
Oh, it's bigger than that. It's a bigger huff than that, trust me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bigger that.
So there's a lot of horror themes in this, isn't there? A lot of you got possession, you got body horror, and then there's even like the Frankenstein stuff later, isn't it? That we're going to come to in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So what about the regeneration scene? What do we think of that?
Gurning. Lots
A
of gurning.
lot of gurning.
It's a lot of
Yeah, I'm not sure. I suspect the hand or the mouth of Sylvester McCoy in that.
Yeah, it does look like an OAP gurning without his false teeth in, doesn't it? That's... I'm glad they didn't keep that in Modern Who. Can you imagine that every time?
No.
Oh, yeah, I could have seen David Tennant.
I can see him doing it, yeah, but I'd rather not,
No.
And I'm not keen on the comedy music when the orderly fades, to tell me that it's, a comedy moment, in case you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. But it does lead up to my favourite scene where he's walking up the corridor, wrapped in the, whatever you call it, blanket, white blanket, and the way it's shot, with where is it like in shadow and partly not. I think that's a great scene.
Yeah, it's his introduction scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never quite worked out why that part of the hospital was deserted and wrecked.
Full of mirrors.
Yeah. Is there? Did I miss something? Is there any explanation as to that? Or has he just wandered into a deserted bit of the hospital?
The only slight oblique reference is the hospital manager says he's trying to keep the place running.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I'm stretching a bit here.
Yeah. Is it more a question of atmosphere over a plot?
I like to think that maybe they're doing some construction work and they're just, not very good at it, maybe, or they haven't completed the roof on that bit yet. Because, it's just rain pouring in. Yeah.
It's Christmas, they stopped working.
Yeah.
They've stopped for Christmas and New Year.
But the lockers are in that part.
Yeah, I thought of that. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah. Well, let's just not think about it. But it is a good scene. The whole bit, dropping to his knees and screaming, "Who am I?" It's again cinematic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a powerful scene. Yeah.
That's you on a Sunday morning, right?
Are you talking to me or Andy or Yvonne?
Anybody can take it if they want to. If it rings a bell for them. It's not just a podcast, it's therapy.
Do it slightly backtracking. Do any of us believe that a man as slight as Paul McGann is able to beat down a metal door with his bare hands and or feet?
In a word, no.
You don't have to answer that, but I think your faces tell the answer.
Oh, he's buzzing with regeneration energy and
Oh, that's good. I'll take that, Yvonne.
Yeah, there you go. You've got the job.
He gurned at it. That's what did it. He gurned at it, and it caused the metal to crumble.
See, where were you when Matthew Jacobs was writing this? You could have added,
should have called me.
Yeah.
And we get the obligatory scene where the Doctor's finding his costume or discovering his costume.
Yeah, I don't like the voiceover bit.
No,
I know that it's a costume, and I've got this thing called a memory.
what's the voiceover? Hang on, what's the?
And he opens the lock.
It's an echo.
He opens the locker.
Yeah.
Of the conversation where he's like, "I'm going to go as Bill Hickok," and he pulls out the costume, and you're like, "Yeah, I got it. I don't need that extra bit."
It would have been okay without it.
That's a Bill and Ted reference as well. The character whose costume that was called Ted, and his costume is Bill Hickok. So Bill and Ted. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. There you go.
I think you two should do the podcast from now on.
Colin,
This is why you invited us on.
It really is. Yeah.
Colin, as somebody who lives in America, is Wild Bill Hickok a popular costume for people to wear at fancy dress parties?
No.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I wondered if there was any significance.
No. Put it this way: I've had conversations with people because I've held Wyatt Earp's gun belt, and I say that to people, and Americans go, "Who? Huh?"
Oh,
And I'm like,
okay.
"How can you not be excited by that?" So no.
We do get to see Tom Baker's scarf though, hanging up.
yeah.
Yeah. What was that costume for?
He was good as a doctor.
Who's going? Yeah, that's very meta, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's meta before meta was a thing.
I think at this stage it was the second time that the Doctor had stolen his clothes from a hospital. I think John Pertwee did it in Spearhead from Space, and then Matt Smith went on to do it in his debut story. So I don't know what it is with the Doctor and nicking things from hospitals, but he should get locked up for doing that, really.
Yeah,
he's got farm.
Yeah, he's got previous.
Why can't he get clothes that actually fit the time that he's in?
Well, he does now, kind of, doesn't he? I suppose.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah. Now, yeah. Oh, now he's a fashion setter.
Yeah.
It's a miracle that he gets clothes that actually fit. That's one of my big gripes with any movie where somebody nicks a costume. They always knock out a security guard, and the security guard just happens to have exactly the same size, except maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark, where I was the thing with the shirt, it doesn't fit, and that's just why Raiders is a brilliant movie. But,
so Snake, Blizzard, Water Thing, Master, whatever it is, goes inside Bruce's wife. No, goes inside Bruce and kills his wife. Again, I was going, that was a bit risky there.
Hello. There's a little... Which version are you watching?
The uncut cut version.
Welcome to Late Night Doctor Who with Paul.
Do you remember? Does anyone remember those red triangles on Channel 4? It was that version. Okay.
Welcome to Late Night Doctor Who. Warm your hands. That's his catchphrase.
This actress playing his wife is actually his wife, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I discovered that through the documentary recently.
And
gets pulled off quite a few times.
What do we think of Eric Roberts as a Master then? Do you think he was miscast or?
I think he's glorious, but gloriously miscast.
He seems to have two different versions of the way he's going to play it. He's got a pantomime version, which he starts when he starts wearing the Gallifreyan outfit. And then he's got this other version of almost as if he's been watching Terminator.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'd argue there's more than two versions that he's playing. I think between us we counted about 27.
Yeah. A review we watched the other day said every scene he's playing a different Master.
Well, maybe he's playing his previous 12 lives.
Yeah. Well, I think he's getting used to the body because he started off as the slug thing, and then he's possessed this man, and that's why he starts a bit, unemotional, and then turns into full-on campery towards the end.
I can't believe we're justifying these acting choices.
I know. Hey, it's not us. It's not us this time, Colin.
Oh, yeah, it's not us.
Other people doing it. Let's face it, though. I mean, pretty much every actor that's played the Master, even previous to this, they've always turned it up to 11, haven't they?
Well, it is a tash twirling villain to a
Yeah.
certain degree.
I think the worst one for doing that, aside from Eric Roberts, is probably, you would probably remember his name better than me, the guy that did it the most in the 80s. Is it Ainley, is it?
Anthony Ainley. Yeah.
He was full on pantomime, wasn't he? Really?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the time, I sort of quite enjoyed his performance as the Master. Like, he was sort of the Master that I grew up with. I didn't really remember Roger Delgado.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he sometimes does get a bit of criticism for being a little bit panto villain. And if that was maybe the version that Eric Roberts went to do his research, then maybe you can see why he went with the acting choices that he made.
I think it's very nice of you to think that Eric Roberts did research.
I think he did. He did in some interviews say that he'd spent time in Britain during the 70s and maybe the 80s, and had watched Doctor Who on TV. Now, how much of that he'd seen, I don't know.
I can't imagine him tuning into Doctor Who. Can you?
Scribbling notes.
So the Doctor meets Grace, and I think that from the moment that he opens his mouth in the scene in the elevator, Paul McGann's the Doctor, isn't he? No question about it. He gets it completely.
Yeah, he's got that sort of manic energy to him, and that sort of that sense of confusion and
Seems
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
natural
it
as well,
does,
doesn't it? It seems to come quite natural to him. It doesn't feel forced in the same way that sometimes I always felt Christopher Eccleston, as much as I liked his Doctor, it felt a little bit forced at times, I thought.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you with that. Yeah, I think it's quite sort of, well, quite pertinent. That's the word I was reaching for. That probably almost everything else from the TV movie has sort of been ditched by the sort of canon version of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody kind of seems to go, well, yeah, we like McGann. We'll keep McGann from that and forget about everything else. We'll forget about the whole half-human thing. We'll forget about all that other nonsense. But McGann, we really like. Yeah, he's in. He's our Doctor.
And I think that's down to the fans, isn't it? Liking him so much.
I think so, yeah. I think it's down to his performance as well. Him sort of nailing it straight away. And I suppose if you consider Sylvester McCoy was the Doctor for the first sort of 10-15 minutes or so of this, he had a real limited time to win everybody over.
Yeah.
And I think no matter what you think of all the other enjoyable nonsense going on around him, he is the Doctor.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So later he jumps in the car with Grace, doesn't he? And would they really put a dead body in the morgue and leave a piece of hospital equipment inside of it? Because he pulls out the probe, doesn't he, from his chest?
I mean, seen the state of the NHS today.
I can't answer that, Colin. It just seemed a bit strange to me that they would just leave it inside of him.
Well, I mean, you've seen the state of part of that hospital. They don't really care,
I
do
guess
they?
so. Yeah.
And he wouldn't have had insurance on him.
That's true. So basically,
and it's America, so you know.
Yeah, he was a John Doe, they call him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just chuck him in there. Forget about him. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, probably wasn't.
We get that scene with the receptionist as well, where he's pulling off bits of his. Didn't he pull a nail off? No, I read that the body horror aspect of it was going to be more of a thing, but Eric Roberts just couldn't stand the prosthetics on him, so they had to tone it all back, which is a shame because I
think the idea was he was dead. The body was dead, so it was going to be decaying throughout the rest of the film.
It's a shame that they didn't do that, but then again, we wouldn't have seen it because the BBC would have cut it all, wouldn't they, when they put it out? So.
Yeah, I found that quite an icky scene with the fingernail coming off. I think everybody kind of watches that and goes, yeah.
So when we go back to Dr. Holloway's place, it turns out that her boyfriend or husband has left her, and he's taken the sofa but left his shoes behind, and he's left the TV behind. That must have been a really good sofa.
Yeah, and he did it all in one night as well, didn't he? Because it's the same night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the space of her running out on him at the opera, he's been back to the apartment and cleaned it out.
Yeah. Like he planned this all along.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I think he was.
But he left his shoes.
It's a great scene, though, isn't it, in the apartment with between the two of them, between McGann and Ashbrook. And again, we can see that chemistry that they've got between each other. It's like I like the little moments where, as he's walking through, he'll just glance out the window and go, "Oh, lovely view," and then carry on. That is the Doctor.
The house is still there.
Is it?
Yeah, I googled it.
Still looks the same.
As an adult, I'm watching. As an adult, I'm watching that, going, "That's a really nice apartment. I'd like to live there."
I would, but it's a bit open to the outside. You know, you come down in the morning, you forgot to put your clothes on, and you walk past the window.
Wave.
There's no curtains.
There's a bunch of joggers going by, going, "What the hell?"
Keep running.
So Lee wanders into the TARDIS, and we see the TARDIS key, and I do like this because I think it wasn't new, was it? It was something that was introduced. Is it Pertwee's era?
It's the Pertwee era key.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly sort of off tangent, but a couple of years ago we went to a Comic-Con that had Sean Pertwee at it, and I decided to get in the queue for a photo with him. He's one of my favourite actors, and because of the John Pertwee connection, I decided to take a a 1975 Doctor Who annual with me that had his dad on the front. So I've got a photo of me and Sean Pertwee reading a Doctor Who annual.
Nice.
But the person in front of me was dressed up as the Roger Delgado version of the Master, who was famously sort of Pertwee's nemesis on screen. And Sean Pertwee pulled out of his shirt the TARDIS key that his father used on the show on a chain and showed it to the guy in front of him. And I really wanted to have a look at it myself, but didn't get a chance to sort of ask him the same question. But I saw the key come out. So he must, I don't know if he wears it all the time, but he must at least sort of wear it to conventions, and that must be a lovely keepsake for him.
Yeah.
I wonder what else his dad pilfered from the set before he left as well.
Probably a couple of solid screwdrivers.
Yeah.
And...
Bessie.
You would though, wouldn't you?
That floral
Oh,
shirt
definitely.
and his velvet jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some of that in my wardrobe upstairs, Colin. I've got one of those. I do actually. I really do have one of those shirts. That's another story.
Why aren't you wearing it now?
I should have done,
You should
really.
have dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, I should have done.
You should have dressed
I
for
know.
the occasion.
I'll show you it one day.
So, how did the Master get in the TARDIS?
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, we wondered that. Did he turn himself back into glue again, but gloop again, and squeeze himself back through the keyhole?
Yeah.
I think my drunk theory was that having been through the keyhole as the goo, he remembered the shape of the lock, and I don't know.
You're very good at making excuses for this movie, aren't you? Yeah.
I work in customer service, I can do this.
You know, with ideas like this, Yvonne, we could get you on to Star Trek Strange New Worlds. You'd do wonders on that show.
Oh!
Especially Discovery. You could fix that show in no time.
No, not a chance.
Nobody can fix Discovery.
Hey, they're one of us, Colin. Come on. They're on our way, mate. When Lee wanders into the TARDIS, so there's always that scene, isn't there, where someone new goes in and they're completely in awe of it. He copes with it rather well, doesn't he?
Well,
does,
it's America. Everything's bigger there.
That's true.
I know I sort of re-watched the other week. We noticed that actually at the start, you see Sylvester McCoy inside the TARDIS, and then it shows sort of the exterior of it flying through space as the police box. But if you've never watched the show before, you wouldn't necessarily know that that's meant to be the inside of that blue box. They sort of don't have.
True.
Most other sort of versions of the show have the box appear, and you not know what it is, and then somebody go into it. Like I love the. It's really corny, but the sort of comedy scene later on where the bike goes into the TARDIS, and you just hear it go, and he comes back out again, and that's a nice, cute little way of illustrating how big the TARDIS is inside.
Right. Yeah.
So the Master is making Lee think the Doctor is the bad guy, even though, it's kind of obvious the Master's the bad guy because he's the one with the funny eyes and.
Well, I don't think Lee's that bright, is he? I mean,
Yeah. So what do we think of the is it the mooring staff and the Eye of Harmony? This is all new, right? Or is it not new?
The Eye of Harmony's referenced previously.
Yeah. I don't think it was ever in the TARDIS, though.
No.
I don't think.
And it wasn't something that powered the TARDIS before, right?
No.
No. I might be wrong. I think it's the sort of... I think... In sort of the original history, sort of Omega sort of created Time Lord technology by harnessing black holes, and I think one of these was the Eye of Harmony. I may be wrong on.
It sounds right,
on this.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes more sense than what they put in the movie.
Yeah.
And then we get the reveal that the Doctor is half human.
Okay, so what does everyone think of this?
I don't have an issue with it per se, but it's a bit of a U-turn from what had gone previous. And I'm not sure it makes all that much sense within the plot that they're actually doing.
Yeah, that's my issue with it, is that it's such a change to the story of Doctor Who. Yet it doesn't serve a real purpose in this episode anyway.
Yeah.
You could have dropped it and made no changes to the rest of the script, really.
Yeah, I get the impression from watching that documentary about the writer as well that was his one thing that he wanted to make sure stayed in that script. That was his.
But half human in the kiss.
They were his two big things, his two big ideas to shake everything up, and he wanted those to stay in that script. Personally, it doesn't bother me, the half human thing. I look at it this way: it kind of makes sense in the fact that it would explain why the Doctor is so obsessed with Earth and taking care of humans. Because if you don't have that, then all we are to him are kind of pets that he has to look after. You know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really bother me either way. I mean, there's been things in Doctor Who since that that have bothered me. This isn't one of them.
Yeah. Like I say, it would have been nice if they played on that a little bit more and they sort of said, "Oh, I'm half human. That is why I've got this connection to the players, and that's why it's like a second home to me."
Yeah. Maybe they would have done. Maybe that's what the plan was going forward in the series. You know?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And we get the kiss as well, don't we?
Mm-hmm. We do. It's all right. The only problem with it doesn't leave you anywhere to go afterwards with the relationship between the two of them. It's like most shows usually lead up to it, and then at the point of the kiss, that's when the show goes off the rails. You know, for example, Moonlighting or something like that. And
they always avoided that, even
the
X-Files. Yeah.
So the X-Files sort of I think on around about the same time that sort of teased that whole relationship between the two, and it sort of that powered that show for many seasons.
They even avoided it with Rose, didn't they? There was always the romantic thing going on particularly between Ted and Rose, but I don't think they ever kissed, did they?
There was a kiss of sorts between her and Christopher Eccleston, where he
passed on
sucked the energy of the vortex out of her, so to speak. Would have been worse the other way around.
Don't worry about dropping to that level. Oh, hang on.
You might need to edit that bit out.
Oh no, that'll stay in. Don't you worry.
Oh dear.
It's the only bit that'll stay in.
I the kiss doesn't bother me, really. But like you said, Colin, there's nowhere to go after that, is there?
No. So I don't know whether she was going to be an assistant for future episodes.
I think that they would have found a way for him to go back and pick her up, and she'd have gone with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably Lee as well. I think that they were gearing for those two to be companions. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
I think McGann himself said that the kiss itself is. He described it as a very chaste kiss. He sort of said, "Oh, I kept my lips together." It's more of a sort of. He sort of plants his face on her than.
It's like two kids kissing, isn't it? Rather than adults. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I do like the fact that Grace doesn't just automatically accept what's going on. You know, it feels a bit more of a believable process, because too often in things, a supporting character just goes along with the main character quite early. I'm thinking recently we watched Commando, didn't we, Colin? And that does that in that movie. She's literally helping him in 5 minutes, isn't she?
In fairness, she's just helping a guy who's killing drug dealers. She's not dealing with an alien with two hearts.
But what I'm saying is Grace doesn't believe him at first. For quite a while into the running time, she doesn't believe him, I don't think.
Well, even after he's walked through a door.
She still seems a bit...
Door. She's
not happy, is she?
I mean, that'd be the winner for me. I'd be like, oh, yeah, something's not right here. Because I've tried walking through that glass door.
David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear. I'm sorry, going through a wobbly glass window.
Means nothing to you. I need more.
No.
What do we think about this idea that Doctor's met every single person of interest in the history of the world that they seem to have introduced in this?
But if you're a Time Lord, you can go anywhere and any time. Isn't that something you would do? And if you're interested in humans.
Okay, but he seems to know everything about people that aren't particularly well known as well. He seems to just know everything about everybody.
Is this something that this is created, Rev? I don't remember previous Doctors just suddenly meeting someone and going, "Oh, whatever you do, don't buy that black cat."
Yeah. I think it's something they do in this. Like he's always been a persistent name dropper. He's always claimed to have met,
Yeah.
Da Vinci and Shakespeare and whoever. And that, in a way, that's kind of quite a nice running gag. But the idea that he knows sort of, don't be in a certain place on a certain Tuesday in November in 3 years' time.
It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
It's also a bit free and easy with the rules of time travel. I mean, what chaos is he causing?
Depends which rules you adhere to, Colin. There seems to be lots of different rules to time travel these days. Isn't there?
Yeah.
There's only one rule, and it's the Back to the Future rule.
Is that don't kiss your mum?
That's not just a time travel rule. That's pretty much generally a life rule.
No, you tell me.
At least no tongues.
So does that rule apply to just your own, or can you kiss other people's mums?
That's interesting. Give it a go, Paul, and let me know.
I might not be here for the next podcast. I might be locked up somewhere. I like the scene with the traffic cop as well, and the jelly baby, and the line, "Oh, he's British." That was a good moment.
Yeah. Can I just ask a question though? Are we fully aware of what's going on plot-wise with the Eye of Harmony and the alteration of the molecular structure of the Earth? Okay.
The time malfunction.
No,
it's all a bit
checking.
hazy.
We're just along for the ride.
All right.
Yeah, it's all bobbins.
But with the motorcycle bit where he gets the gun off the policeman and then points it at himself.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's quite a good switch. That's very doctorish.
That's a brilliantly Doctor moment. My memories of Tom Baker were somebody would point a gun at him and he'd offer them a jelly baby and then battle them with logic and then run off.
Right.
And that thing with McGann, sort of, A, grabbing the gun off him. Any other TV action hero would then be running down the street firing at cars and people, and he turns it on himself. And that's brilliantly sort of brilliantly invented. That
And it's interesting how she's the one that takes the gun and she's the one that shoots the bike. And isn't there? I seem to remember. I don't know whether it's a modern take on Who that they've talked about in the new show, but isn't there this theory that that's what the Doctor does, that he turns his companions into the weapons that he doesn't want to be? And they end up being his soldiers rather than him having to do these things, nasty things that he doesn't really want to do. He gets them to do it for him.
I used to like this Doctor. He's a bit of a bastard, isn't he? Are we sure he's not the villain?
Well, depends on your point of view, Colin, doesn't it?
The Master was right.
It's a good bike chase sequence, though. It's something that, again, we wouldn't get in British Doctor Who, I think.
Yeah, and it's a solid chase as well.
Yeah.
I like the moment in the ambulance when Lee quips, "Oh, you kill me," and the Master just deadpan replies, "You want me to kill you?" Because he doesn't quite understand.
There was that crash with the flat-back truck. And
the chickens.
Yeah, why is that police officer putting the chicken back on the flat? It's just going to get off again. Complete waste of time. He's just there in the background putting chickens on this truck that are then just jumping off.
He's pulling a gun on it. I said, don't move.
Yeah.
That chase is missing somebody with a stall of oranges that the bike goes through or a car crashes into. That seems to be in every other James Bond movie or every other action sequence.
You know what gun he's using on those chickens, though, don't you? A cluck.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah, we're talking birds. The chase sequence could have done with a...
Oh, no.
You know what I'm going to say?
Are you doing a pod?
I wasn't. I wasn't. We're not doing that anymore. We talked about it. We're not doing that.
No, yeah, we talked about it.
We could have had a double take pigeon. We're talking Bond chases and things like that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or the wine drinker doing the double take as well. He.
Yes. I miss him from James Bond movies.
None of that in Daniel Craig, is there? But we discussed that at length, haven't we, Colin?
Yeah.
So, can all Time Lords slime people?
Wait, what?
You heard me. Can all Time Lords?
Choose your answer carefully.
Well, the Master slimes a bunch of security guards.
They're all stood frozen, covered in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I wondered if it was just a power anyone could do, or whether it was just peculiar to Time Lords. Okay.
I think it's Time Lords and Slimer from Ghostbusters.
It is a bit like that.
Maybe Slimer from Ghostbusters is a Time Lord.
There we go. Yeah.
Maybe.
Was a Time Lord. It's a ghost of a Time Lord.
Yeah.
I like the shot of the Doctor and the Grace lowering themselves down and then jumping onto the bike. Again, I keep using the word, but it's all very cinematic looking, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the music swells and it's just really good in the right places.
It is.
Yeah. Have we mentioned that Gareth gets a jelly baby? Someone else gets a
He
jelly
does.
baby? People are very, easy taking jelly babies from strangers, aren't they?
No one ever told him the golden rule of when you were a kid, did they?
No.
He's a very generous man. Very kind, very thoughtful.
He is. Yeah.
So Eric Roberts gets to put on his Time Lord robes, and he turns the camp up to not 11, but 111, doesn't he? Ian?
Off
He's
scale.
really going for it. Yeah, but wearing that you would, wouldn't you? It'd be hard not to.
That's true.
We saw that costume at the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
Yes.
they had all the Time Lord outfits as you're queuing to go into the main bit. And we're like, that's it, that's the Master's costume.
Yeah.
And we like to pose and did the thing. It was
There's photos of, but I think both of us doing the hand movements, the I like to dress for the occasion.
It's a gorgeous costume. All the detail on it is.
It's lovely. There is an interesting theory that where did the Master get that from? He got that from the Doctor's TARDIS, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's Sylvester McCoy's robes.
I guess so, yeah.
Fits him well.
Swamp him.
Yeah. That just happened to fit Eric Roberts as well.
Maybe it's special Time Lord technology. It's like the TARDIS. It can fit to whoever's...
Oh, big on the inside.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a dimensionally transcendental
robe.
glam robe.
There you go. You can have that. You can have that one for nothing.
You don't get that on RuPaul's Drag Race, do you?
Gallifreyan seem to wear these costumes all the time. Is this just like what they put on to slob around?
It's the ceremonial robes, isn't it?
Like the big collars, yeah.
So they don't wear them all the time. They're not getting up in the morning and throwing on that.
Can you imagine
gardening.
trying to mow your lawn wearing that great big thing on your back of your head?
I can, and I have.
All right, okay. I've got the Freddy shirt. You've got the Time Lord robe. Is that what you're saying?
You've not lived until you've seen a Time Lord go down Asda with rollers in the hair and Time Lord robe and slippers on.
Yeah.
The bloody price of peas. I don't know. This country coming to.
It's like a convention I was at once and stood at the urinal next to a Cyberman.
So where did the pea come out of, Colin? I'm interested to know.
I wasn't looking. I was too distracted.
I hope he had a flap. McGann, he did.
I did.
McGann's great in the cloister room scene, I think. Would you say that he's probably one of the best actors to play the Doctor, then?
I think he's made the most impact in the shortest amount of time. And when he came back and did the little 10-minute segment, was stunning. And it's like, wow, we need more of this. We need to see more of this on screen.
Yeah.
So
I think it's somebody that everybody really wants to see come back for more stuff, whether it's a spin-off series or whatever. And there's talk of spin-off shows with the new version that's coming back with Russell T Davies.
That would be nice to see, actually. I'd like that. Colin, what do you think?
Yeah.
One of the best actors, or would you not put him on your top 5 list? Then? Well, I don't need to know what your top 5.
Oh no, he's a good actor. I was trying to think, like, I guess Peter Davison had done All Creatures Great and Small. Tom Baker had done various bits and pieces, but Paul McGann had done films before this.
Yeah, I don't think. I think he's up there with the modern group of actors, isn't he, that have played the Doctor, rather than with the ones that came before him in terms of quality of performance. I think that's not dissing any of the other ones, because I love Pertwee, I love Baker, I love them all really, but just in terms of them being, it just feels a little bit more like he knows his onions a bit more, I think.
Probably in terms of his CV.
Yeah.
You'd maybe say. Yeah.
That contraption on the Doctor's head, by the way, I was getting definite Clockwork Orange vibes from it. Anyone else?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Mhm,
the eyes
being held open.
being held open.
So I have a question, technical question again. Why does Grace turn into a demon?
She
Did I
got
miss
sprayed on the wrist,
the
didn't she, by
explanation
the
for that?
squirty goo thing.
All right.
Master juice.
Okay.
She got
She got
slimed.
slimed.
Did someone just refer to it as Master's juice?
Yeah, he sprays it and it's
As opposed to Master's juice.
I don't know which one I like the most. By the way.
Sorry.
I wouldn't drink
sorry.
either of them. I know that much.
Oh, I would probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
The neck snap's a bit brutal on Lee as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably edited out of the original transmission.
Yeah. That's probably why it made even less sense on original viewing.
I don't know. It's never been one to shy away from death, Doctor Who, has it? I mean, I remember. Is it Remembrance of the Daleks, where there's all those soldiers that get shot?
Oh.
Well, it's just the amount of the death toll in that is horrendous.
But aren't they BBC death tolls where they just go
Yeah,
fall over?
Yeah.
They don't go
That's
squibs
true.
everywhere. And
That's true.
blood.
That's true. But he's never shied away from death, has it, Doctor Who?
No. Yeah,
no.
I think, as you said, Remembrance of the Daleks, I think I'm sure there was some theory that it had like a higher body count than either Terminator or Terminator 2 or something like that. It sort of has quite a big body count.
And the Master starts to suck out all the Doctor's lives, and he starts gurning here as well.
Yeah, it's a Time Lord thing.
Yeah.
But Grace restarts the TARDIS and reverses time. So how does this work then? What's she done here?
How does she know what to do?
That's another good question.
It's setting an alarm clock. That's what she got told.
Reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reason.
Best not thing. Yeah. Reasons.
Reasons. Yeah.
She pulls out all that wiring, doesn't she? And just she doesn't know what she's doing. She's just lucky, really.
She hot wires the TARDIS.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ancient Gallifreyan technology and just 2 wires. And in fairness, this is also a machine that can get fixed by giving the console a hefty thump and just going like that, and it works again.
That's true.
So it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
And we get a bit of a fight between the Master and the Doctor. It kind of reminds me a bit of Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty's final conflict, above the waterfall rapids thing.
Right.
Is it the Reichenbach files?
That's the one. Yes, I'm glad you said it because I couldn't remember it. But
I don't know where I pulled that from. Dredged it up from back in remembering.
And I like the fact that the Master would rather die than be helped by the Doctor. Yeah. And he's dead, but not really dead because the next time we see him, he's John Sims. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. Well, but it's the Master's one of those characters that a bit like Davros or any of the sort of the classic Doctor Who villains. They get killed off and then they come back and there's no real explanation as to why
Palpatine survived.
It's the somehow Palpatine survived rule, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And in a way, I know we kind of criticise it, but you wouldn't want it any other way. You want these characters back, and you're kind of prepared to sort of.
They've always got a back door to sneak out.
Yeah. I don't think it works quite as well with what happens next when. So the TARDIS, Lee and Grace are both dead, but then the TARDIS brings them both back. And I get that they needed them to be companions in the series, but on the other hand, if the TARDIS can just bring people back, there's no stakes to anything going forward. If someone dies on a next adventure, just drag them into that room and then let the TARDIS bring them back again.
But is it because they died in kind of like an interstitial phase where the TARDIS is between places and
here we go.
The energy?
Yeah, but that's not used to Adric, is it?
True. Yeah, but he wasn't on the TARDIS. He was on the ship. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. And they're human and they need.
Okay. All right.
Reasons.
The reason.
It's the eye of plot. The eye of plot contrivance.
But in the original show, I mean, you mentioned Adric. If you died, you mostly stayed dead, didn't you?
Yeah.
From what I remember.
They rolled the titles without the theme music
when
Adric died.
You're still recovering, aren't you?
Everyone cheered at that, didn't they? From what I remember. Isn't that the Adric death? Isn't that because we were talking about this a while ago, Colin? Isn't it where he's he's meant to be pushing buttons on the console, and you can clearly see that he knows that it's going to explode at any second.
It's like, not touching that.
He jerks away a second before the firework goes off. Yeah, that costume probably was made out of nylon, so if that
He'd gone up like a rocket, wouldn't he?
few stray sparks.
So you get to see all the three characters together in the scene around the console, and it is a shame that we never get to see how they were going to develop in the series, because they all seem to fit well together, I think. Just from this one scene where they're all together and none of them are possessed anymore, everything's back to normal. That would have been interesting to see how that would have carried on, I think. Mm-hmm.
They are characters you want to know more about. You are interested in where they go from there, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I think you're right. They all look very comfortable together as a unit. You kind of go, yeah, that's a Doctor Who crew. Yeah, that could work.
And there's one more kiss, and then another malfunctioning TARDIS flight, and that's pretty much the end of Doctor Who the movie, isn't it?
You're missing the scene in the rain where everyone's hair just goes mad. You've got Paul McGann's wig curling. You've got Grace's hair just in the sogginess just curling, and yeah.
I'm going to get a prop for the discussion about the final scene, and hopefully it'll make sense.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, so I was going to say we've missed out on discussing one of the core elements of Paul McGann was auditioned with beautiful flowing hair, and that was probably one of the reasons they went, yeah, perfect romantic hero there. And then when he came to film it, he'd shaved it off for another show, and they were like, where did the hair go? Can we have that back? And yes, they spent half the budget on a dubious wig.
Yeah, dodgy syrup.
And he hated that wig, didn't he?
That'll confuse the American audience.
Yes. And then when he saw Christopher Eccleston in a leather jacket and a kind of like buzz cut, he was like, "That's what I wanted to do. That's the costume I wanted."
So go on. What's
so my sort of last final gripe with the show is the fact that the TARDIS does a comedy twang at the end as things go wrong, and the Doctor goes, "Oh no, not again," and he just hit off of the TARDIS, and we're left for another 9 years with that being the last.
I suppose it was, wasn't it? It really was. The last time.
Yeah.
It's probably made by somebody doing that.
I'd like to think it was.
You're a wannabe Foley artist.
I'm a frustrated Foley artist. Yeah. Is it too late to retrain for a life of
twanging
gravel and
cutlery off a table? I'm not sure as highly trained as you would think. I think you might be
smashing melons. With
I think you're fully qualified anyway.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, Sylvester McCoy made a career out of his spoons, didn't he? He was getting them out every 5 seconds in Doctor Who, his spoon.
That's We have seen Sylvester McCoy, as have probably many millions of Doctor Who fans. We've seen him play the spoons live with very, very little encouragement.
I saw him doing Shakespeare with Ian McKellen, and he was playing the fool, I think. And in one scene, he was playing the spoons as part of the character's performance. And afterwards, when the show finished, someone was like, I was overhearing the couple next to me going, "Oh, yeah, it's very good. What's the show about the spoons, though?" I didn't quite kind of get that. That's Sylvester McCoy. He does that. He's contracted to do that.
It's in his contract.
Yeah, he's one thing.
It's his thing, isn't it? It's his thing.
So that is the end of Doctor Who the movie.
So I think we should ask our guests first. Yvonne and Andy, what do you think of Doctor Who the movie?
I find I've got mixed feelings now. I think when I first saw it in '96, it was the first time I saw Doctor Who. I loved all the references because that's what I was reading in the novelizations and stuff. It's like, oh, I know what they're on about there. I know the scarf and the jelly babies.
900-year diary and the jelly babies.
It was just like, this is what I want. Feed it to me. And now, having watched what they did with the new series, and gone, yeah, that's a bit too much in your face. But yeah, McGann, best part of it. The soundtrack I love. I've got that on CD, and it's probably played quite a lot. Yeah, the John Debney soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about it, but I can't help but love it. There's very little Doctor Who out there that I really, really hate or dislike. It was lovely to see it back after so many years in any form. Yeah, you could pick it apart all week, but it's a big, joyous romp of a story, and you've got to be quite sort of cold-hearted to not enjoy it in some respects. McGann, I think everybody universally agrees, is perfect in the role as the Doctor, and it's a crying shame that we didn't get to see more of him in the role. Eric Roberts, completely miscast as he is, he's gloriously camp in it and plays it to the hilt with the over the topness of it. Grace and Shang Li would have made lovely companions. It may not have been the Doctor Who that we knew and loved, and it may have only lasted a couple of seasons, and then it may have died a death, and that may have then been the end of Doctor Who. I don't know. So maybe it was a good thing that it didn't run the course. We'll never know. But I think overall, it's something that gives you more pleasure than not at the end of the hour and a half of watching it.
Yeah, I'd agree with all of that as well. It's funny when I remember enjoying it when I saw it the first time, but I always remember having no issues with it as well. But over the years, the more I've watched it, those issues have become less and less of a problem for me, and I just enjoy it for what it is. And as pilots go for 90s American TV shows, which is what it is, it's a cut above a lot of them, I think, in the terms of how it looks and the performances. I really like it. I like the cinematic look of it. I think it's got a lot of flourishes that you don't get to see in particularly a lot of 90s TV as well. All the problem, like the things like the kissing and the half-human thing, doesn't bother me at all anymore. All the performances are great, and is it a hit? Probably not, but it bloody well should have been, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember being that fond of it when it first aired, but I think it's grown on me over time.
Mm-hmm.
And watching it this time for this podcast, I really enjoyed it, and I was amazed at how big it felt, considering modern Who and how much money is spent on it now. This still felt larger in scope than modern Who does. I mean, just because of the TARDIS size and the ideas and the setting and the way it's filmed and the music too, because I grow weary of Murray Gold. But I really enjoyed it. I like Paul McCann as the Doctor. The assistants are good. Eric Roberts is a little weird, but maybe that's what you needed.
Yeah.
You know, to counterbalance everything else. So for me, I thought it was pretty good.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So that's it. That's another episode of Retrospection done. We can all go home.
Oh no, not again.
I want to say thank you to our guests for joining us, Yvonne and Andy. Is there anything you'd like to plug or where people can follow you? Don't give your house street address.
Any monies can be sent to. So I do only kind of geeky thing we do. I write a travel blog where I try and visit kind of interesting geeky locations. So our holiday last year involved several James Bond locations. We pretended to be Judi Dench and Daniel Craig being on Skyfall.
Yeah, I was Judi Dench.
Yeah.
I see the likeness.
So
I've seen those pictures and it worked. It really did work for you.
It's the grey hair.
Well, she has a great beard when she's not acting.
Yeah.
So if you want to read up on that, I think it's from Scene to Scene on WordPress, and I'm on Twitter as @MizBombay. So I'm reporting like St Helens, where we're based, is somehow the hub of filming at the moment. We've had Marvel's Secret Invasion, the maternity series, maternal
TV drama. Literally just around the corner from us, the old Pilkington Glass building is doubling as City General Hospital in Maternal. Last summer we had Martin Freeman in one of the parks nearby filming scenes for The Responder.
I was just say he was just hanging around the park.
well, that as well. Yeah. And Netflix drama Stay Close, filmed at local landmark The Dream as part of a fictitious northern town that seems to involve St Helens, Widnes, Blackpool.
No Wigan, though.
All in one.
No Wigan, no.
Sadly not. Maybe in the second series. Maybe Wigan Pier will double as.
It depends on if they need.
Go on. Have you seen Wigan Pier? What's it going to double as?
It depends on if they need some burnt out cars and some run-down streets, doesn't it? Then they might be able to. You know.
Oh, you're too harsh. You're too harsh.
Well, thank you to our listeners and our Patreon supporters. And that's it for this episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
One mild December back in the 90s, I had a horse running in the King George VI chase at Kempton Park. Well, I say running, but in fact my filly, known as Thunderclap Bastard, was refusing to set any of its expensively manicured shoes onto the track because of its fear of the various shades of the colour green. Even positioning specially tinted sunglasses on his head wouldn't suffice. So, despondently, I was walking through the owner's enclosure, pondering about my chromophobic equine, when I observed a familiar sight rolling along the pathway towards the jockey's changing rooms. It was the infamous Doctor Who sidekick K9, who was failing to look inconspicuous by adorning himself with a felt paisley trilby and an artificial bushy brown moustache on the end of his face. I bounded up to my old friend and greeted him. "Well, hello K9, fancy seeing you here." "Negative, I am not K9. I am Mr. Frobisher, a floral dance instructor from Milton Keynes," replied the small robotic poodle botherer, but was clearly and quite obviously not a Mr. Frobisher from anywhere, no matter how twitchy his fraudulent hairy nose growth appeared to be. I ignored the obvious question about what exactly a floral dancer could possibly be. "Come on, K9, I said. "You're not fooling anybody. Why don't we get a drink and you can tell me all about it?" For a second it was 50-50 if the mechanical rover was going to give me a zap with his overused nostril laser or acquiesce to my request. I could see the hat wobbling and knew his ears were twirling with robotic agitation. Eventually he relented, and over a glass of Chardonnay for me and a beaker, with a curly straw, of Castrol GTX for K9, he carefully explained the situation. It turned out that he had been banished from the TARDIS after accidentally nose-probing the fourth incarnation of the Doctor as the Time Lord was bent over the main console. Apparently, it's only the TARDIS that's larger on the inside. Forced to live on the Gallifreyan streets, K9 had tried to run a fast food pop-up focusing on Mediterranean cuisine, but it was quickly shut down for multiple health violations. Finally, K9 had resorted to playing cards, because nobody has a poker face like him. But he still couldn't win, was now in debt to a violent loan shark known as Flanagan Mac. As I listened to this unhappy tale, an idea began to take shape, a way that I could still enter the race and K9 could clear all of his money problems away. I leant conspiratorially towards him. "Listen, doggo," I said, "let's race. There had been a bit of a misunderstanding in our plan, and that's how I found myself in the starting gate on all fours wearing a harness and saddle. K9 was tied to my back with the reins hooked on his ears. A yellow and white checkered jockey's cap had been perched on his head. I looked down the line at our competitors and was slightly startled to see that none of them were horses. To my right was Esther Ranson riding Andre Previn, a conductor's baton clenched tightly between his teeth. Next, Mr. T was sat astride an uncomfortable-looking featherweight champion Barry McGuigan. Further along, the Chuckle Brothers were warming up. Barry was the rider, and I could hear them yelling, "To me! To you!" as they passed the saddle to each other. And finally, there was Fluella Benjamin riding Bungle. I should have known he'd be there. I leaned across at Previn and muttered, "Flanagan Mac?" He nodded. It transpired that everybody in this race was in debt to the same woman. The competition looked tough. Previn was skinny, but Esther was light. And Barry in a ring could dance, but on a track, could he prance? As for Mr. T, well, I pitied the foal. You could almost taste the nervous energy swirling around us. We watched the marshal check that everybody was in position. I tightened my muscles, ready for the sudden crash of the opening gate. With an echoing crack, the starting gun was fired, and we were off. My feet thumped onto the sodden grass. K9 bounced above me. I glanced to my right and saw that a grimacing Previn was also quick out of the gate. McGuigan had fallen slightly behind, but Bungle was gaining. We came to the first bend, and I almost lost my footing, but the constant cursing from K9 gave me the energy to continue. The gap was closing. Damn, Previn was fast. I could see Esther whacking his ass to urge him on. Bungle stumbled. For a second it seemed like the world had paused. Then down he went, sending Floella flying into the trackside fences. Feet moving, legs pumping, heart beating. All our money was on this race, and boy, was it a race. I was starting to feel the strain, and I sensed that McGuigan had found a second wind. He was fighting on the outside with Previn. On the inside, I tried to power through. Oh, if only K9 was a few pounds lighter. Then Previn pulled ahead of McGuigan and was alongside me. I could hear him grunting in desperation. Surely he couldn't hang on. But he did. The finish line, was just up ahead, closer and closer. Every step was now pure agony. Then we were over the line, and I collapsed to the floor, listening to the sounds of the crowd applaud. But who had won? Previn was so close that it was now a photo finish. We waited as the Polaroid was developed. The track manager pulled it from under his armpit and stripped its backing. Had we made it, or had Previn conducted a perfect race? With a flourish like a master magician pulling a tired rabbit from a battered hat, the manager revealed the photo. And there we were, neck and neck, with Previn and Ransom. Except, good old K9. He had extended his nostril probe to its full length across the line. We had literally won by a nose.